We're on board with the RC8. I'm guessing he's wearing pilot leathers. I've heard they're some of the best leathers. And we're off. So we head into the first turn. We're going to see what kind of start we're getting here. As we drop in. Woo! Very tight coming out of the first turn. Heading into Make It or Break It. And gotcha. We're going to try to get you the name of the leader up front. As we're on board here. Hard to transmit through all the dirt. We're trying to do the best we can here, folks. We hope you're enjoying it. As we're one of the few series in the world that can offer onboard cameras, brought to you by ApexTrackDays.com and Trackstar Racing. Holy smokes, we got a guy out front. I'm trying to get you a name. My binoculars aren't quite giving me what I need. But as they come out of Agony and Ecstasy and head up toward the Attitudes, we're going to try to get you the leader. As the race leader enters two-wheeler corner and comes toward the clubhouse, you'll hear these mighty motors rip around as they blast around us here in the clubhouse balcony where Ignite Media is set up. Sizable gap out front for the leader. We do believe it is Michael Lewis. We're going to try to get some reassurance there. Our onboard camera sits in third as he tries to track down the man in second. You can hear that mighty KTM RC8. Thunderous as he comes out of release, cuts down the front stretch, and you can see some of the lean angle these racers are getting out here at Miller Motorsports Park today. As we go into the first turn, it's Briar Hanley out front, Matthew Lewis in second, Eric Grimm, our KTM RC8 in third, Steven Olson in fourth, Ted Perkins in fifth, Marshall Miller in sixth, Hayden Villarreal in seventh, Justin DeLong in eighth, David Peterson in ninth, and Jeff Masters, who I do not believe is out there, did not make the grid for what we can see from our scoring. As it stretches out, Hanley putting in a hot lap as he comes out of Satisfaction and heads into Agony and Ecstasy with a straightaway lead. Holy cow. We saw dominance like this earlier in the novice GTU class by Jeff Peterick. Spacing out the onboard camera here, Eric Grimm posting up a 157.4 for his first lap time as those tires get nice and hot. We're in lap 2 here, again, of the combined GTO. Briar Hanley comes into the clubhouse turn with a straightaway lead on Matt Lewis. Matthew Lewis with a half straightaway lead on Eric Grimm on the KTM RC8. And Steven Olson chasing down Grimm as he comes into the clubhouse turn. As we're on board here with Eric Grimm. As he comes around wind up, heads for the release. And you can see the lean angle so close to the red stripes. Comes out of the apex and blasts down the straightaway. As you can see, we've got beautiful blue skies here in Tooele, Utah today. So your running orders, they hit into lap 3 still. Briar Hanley with authority out front. Matthew Lewis in second, Eric Grimm third, Steve Olson fourth, Ted Perkins in fifth, Marshall Miller in sixth, Justin DeLong in seventh, Hayden Villarreal in eighth. And David Peterson rounding out the back of the field as they've really stretched out here. It looks like we've got a pass made and gotcha between Olson, Perkins, and Miller. Briar Handling showing sheer domination in this class with more than a straightaway lead as he drops into the clubhouse turn, heads for the windup and the release. As we get a shot here of the leader, Briar Handling, as he streams through this last corner and heads down the straightaway. Matthew Lewis coming around the release, last turn now. And it appears that Steve Olson has tracked down Eric Grimm and is going to get this pass made in the next lap as we're heading into laps 4 and 5 here. Great view from our Trackstar Racing onboard camera. So quite the gap the top 4 have got on the rest of the field here. Your top 3, Handley, Lewis, Grimm. Some of your quickest laps being ran by your leader out front. His best lap so far, a 1:45.3. Matthew Lewis in second with a 1:46.7. Eric Grimm on the KTM, 1:51.9. Stephen Olson turning a better lap than him with a 1:49.5 on that last lap, who is gaining possibly to overtake here as we're on board as they head into agony and ecstasy. We might catch it here as Olson, taking the long way around, tries to make the turn on the outside as they head up toward the Attitudes. He's directly behind Grimm. To show you the gap, folks, 3rd and 4th are going through the Attitudes as the first place rider, Handley, comes through the clubhouse turn, heading toward windup and release. So as they come off the backstretch here, Eric Grimm, with our onboard camera, in a tight battle with Stephen Olson as they come into the clubhouse turn. Olson determined to make this pass here in the next couple of turns. I can just feel it as we've seen him get closer and closer. He's sizing him up, going outside in, inside out. And Olson taking the long way around, outside on the windup, trying to poke to the inside on the release. Bust back to the outside as Grimm drops to the inside, shuts the door, and blasts down the straightaway. Olson trying to hop on that horse and ride it all the way down to that front corner. Cannot get the pass made, but he is right on him. That is the battle on the track right now as Briar Handley is out front, up top, out of sight. As we switch over, we see some of the rear pack here coming around the last turn as they head back down the front straightaway. We've got Miller, DeLong, Perkins, Villarreal, and Peterson there as they blast down the front stretch as we see the leader, Briar Handley, blasting through the Attitudes and heading toward the Tooele turn. Again, Briar Handley out front. Lewis closing slightly. The gap is smaller than it was the previous 3 or 4 laps. He's down to about 3/4 straightaway now, but I don't think it's going to be enough time as we're on lap 6 here. Eric Grimm in 3rd, still holding off Stephen Olson. Olson trying every way he can around this track to get by Eric Grimm and that thundering 4-stroke V-twin Austrian power. So as they come into the clubhouse turn, again, Olson inside, outside, outside, inside, trying to make it happen. It looks like Grimm is in the way for Olson as we ride on board with Grimm. Olson again goes outside, shoots to the inside, hoping to drop to the inside of the release. Doesn't make it, cannot make it happen, trying mightily as he can on his Kawasaki to make that pass. Goes to the outside, rides to the edge, is going to try to get the drive off that last turn as they go into the first turn. Not going to do it as Grimm is pulling away. Great lap, that last lap by Eric Grimm with a 1:49.4 to Olson's 1:49.9. Again, out front, your running order: Briar Hanley, Matt Lewis, Eric Grimm, Stephen Olson, Marshall Miller, Justin DeLong, Ted Perkins, Hayden Villarreal, and David Peterson. As we shoot some of the mid-pack here. Back on board with Eric Grimm. And it looks like Olson has made the pass on Grimm as they came out of Satisfaction and headed into Agony. Grimm trying to hang tight there as they go through the attitudes. That is really the only battle on the track right now, is between third and fourth, as Olson holds him as he comes through the Tooele turn, driving toward Clubhouse. Up next is going to be the Open Superstock class. As we come into the Clubhouse turn, Eric Grimm all over Steve Olson, as Steve Olson was Eric Grimm the last 5 laps. Eric Grimm going to the inside, gets the drive off the corner with that big V-twin, goes into the last turn, hugs the inside, is going to try to get a run on the inside, gasses on it, right on him, tries to get the drive. They're neck and neck as they come down the front straightaway, heading into the white flag. Grimm's going to try to drop it into the first turn, and does it. Eric Grimm drops into the inside on the first turn, makes the pass on Olson as they come out through the chicane. Olson trying to get him back, and Grimm pulls away. Dropping to the inside may have spooked Olson just a little bit there, causing him to back off the gas just a tad. Again, out front, Briar Hanley, Matt Lewis with a good steady gap. As we're in the last lap here, Briar Hanley with a dominant lead. Grimm and Olson still battling it out as they come out of the Agony exit, heading up into the attitudes. Grimm has got about 5 bike links on Olson, probably going to hold that position unless something changes between now and then. Here it is, Briar Hanley, your leader, coming through the last turn, blasting down the straightaway. He's going to take the win in the combined GTO class here on the first round of the Masters of the Mountain Series. Matthew Lewis in second. Steve Olson and Eric Grimm still fighting as they come into the clubhouse. Eric Grimm got the KTM on that horse, and he is riding it all the way to finish line, pulling out about 6 bike links now. Drives into the last turn they call release. He's winding it up. He's about to release it. There it goes. Eric Grimm will take third. Steve Olson will be in fourth. Justin DeLong in fifth. Marshall Miller sixth. Ted Perkins seventh. Hayden Villarreal eighth. David Peterson ninth. So we wait for the tail end here of the combined GTO class. ApexTrackDays.com, folks. If you own a sport bike or a motorcycle and you're interested in doing what these awesome racers have done that we've shown you all day today, ApexTrackDays.com is your home for that. Local Utah company that has been providing track days for over 10 years to the masses. Anywhere close, if you live in Utah, you've probably heard of them if you're a sport bike fan. They're celebrating their 100th track day this year on June 14th. And for that special day and to mark a milestone, they're offering a special promotion to all those who want to come out. For their 100th track day, they're offering it for $100. Doesn't matter if you've come to an Apex track day before or if it's your first one, it's $100 regardless. You get some prime time on one of the best facilities on the planet for sport bike racing. These tracks out here at Miller were designed for motorcycles, not cars.